We're living a time of great silence, but it's company, accompanying the one who is suffering, the one who is praying, the one who is going through deep trial. Just so you get your bearings, we're here in Ducanaltum. It's shortly before sunrise, and all night we have been praying. We had a big Last Supper celebration here last night, Mass with well more than 100 people. A large group of pilgrims from Miami joined us. And here we have the Sea of Galilee outside. There's a bit of haze, so the sun rises a little later this morning. And I want to take you back to that chapel. I didn't want to speak inside because it's a place of prayer. And all night after the Mass, we have had adoration, and people take turns every hour. My hour was 5 o'clock this morning until 6. And then this is a volunteer from Spain who is here praying at the moment. She had the next hour. And then I want to explain the different items here on the altar that we looked at earlier. So here we're in the chapel of Mary Magdalene, which in itself is a wonderful scene for the prayer of Gethsemane, because we have many themes. We have mountain, that's Mount Arbel, the Mount of Olives, you know. We have city of Jerusalem, our own cities where we live. This is Magdala here in the background. I won't go in again now because I don't want to disturb the silence of the chapel. And maybe I'll go in afterwards to get a closer look, just like we did at the beginning. And then there's something unusual here. We have these tablets of the law and the menorah, and these are the symbols of the pilgrimage. These are the ones for the Spanish edition of the Pilgrimage of Freedom, Exodus, coming out of Egypt with the 10 Commandments. The pilgrimage is almost finished. It started in Egypt just as Lent was starting. And thousands, tens of thousands of pilgrims have been participating and very blessed. Thanks be to God. And then we have the olive tree branches. The olive trees of Gethsemane are a great reminder of that prayer Jesus had all of Holy Thursday night when he went to Gethsemane and he was taken prisoner. And he didn't want that chalice to drink, but he said, Father, take this chalice away from me, but not my will, thy will be done. And we have a chalice there in the center of the screen. The chalice of the Seder of the Last Supper, then which is drunk, that glass of wine, 4 glasses of wine, and then the great presence of that image in the Christian memory and the connection with Gethsemane. Take this cup from me, because he hadn't drunk the 4th cup at the Last Supper. And then we have bread, and before the bread we have the wheat. So that whole process of the gift of life, the gift of bread, fruit of the earth and work of human hands, and the grapes for the wine. Themes during the night that catch your eye when you're praying. Themes of the Eucharist, themes of the presence of our Lord, whom we honor here, whom we accompany in his suffering. How many have knelt on this kneeler all during the night and all time during history before God, bending the knee. The candles, the light. So I'll take you in again just to look more closely now that you understand the connection between the different pieces. One thing I forgot to mention are the rocks, like the rock of the Mount of Olives, and also here the rock is limestone rock. And there are rocks here that were taken also to kill people, to stone them to death. And there's a crown of thorns in the traditional way of presenting the crown of thorns. We also saw the serpent there in the deliverance from evil. Take this cup away from me. The serpent in Genesis, the breakdown of human relationship with God. It's a pale sunrise this morning because of the haze. The liturgy has special procedures these days to help us to get into the mysteries of Christ. Have the same mind as Christ is one of the great invitations of the New Testament of St. Paul. We also have the ancient custom of covering some of the icons, which will be then unveiled for the Easter ceremony. So the encouragement for today is to walk with Jesus, to sit with him, to look into his eyes, to see his suffering. And one of the very big lines again of interpretation, he did this for us and for our salvation. Time of calling us to responsibility, to generosity, to love, to reconciliation, to forgiveness, to compassion. So much fruit has come from the cross of Christ. And that you be blessed today, on this Good Friday, as you read a few verses from the Passion account of the Gospels, all four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. It's not really about reading a lot. It's not really about thinking a lot. It's just being with Jesus, like we are with people when they have a bereavement, people when they have a very bad accident, people who are sick, just to be with them, company. And we are affected when we see that love that's revealed. That God loved the world so much, he gave his only Son. thank you for coming along this morning, being with us as we sail along the days of our lives and the years, the decades, and we head for eternity with the great gift of redemption offered to us. God bless you on this Good Friday. May it be very fruitful for you. May it be a great blessing for your families, for your communities, for your country, for your culture, for all the challenges we face in these days. Love poured out, redeeming love, self-giving love,